Good morning. Good morning. Happy Wednesday. I cannot believe we are already at the middle of January. It has been an absolute blur. Coffee time, chat time. Today we're going to talk about blonding. I had a great chat with my friend Ian, who I talk about a lot. If you're in my insiders membership, you hear me refer to Ian quite often. Sorry for the voice. I was down for the count for over a week with a nasty, I don't know what it was, flu maybe, but my voice is extra annoying. So Ian was really hard to pin down. He owns two amazing salons in Washington, D.C. One of them is connected to the spectacular Ritz-Carlton Hotel. So he has a very demanding clientele, very high-end, politicians, many celebrities, and some actual celebrities. And we kept having to reschedule. But talking to him reminded me of how much we are alike, and we both teach so much alike. I was kidding him saying we're like the Sonny and Cher of hair color. Like, he is so funny, and it takes him a while to warm up when he first starts. He's a little shy, so he's very serious and talking about color. And then once we get going, he's funny, and it's a very entertaining education experience. But the bottom line is he is a very serious colorist, and he's gotten really successful by doing the right thing all the time, no matter what. And what do I mean by that? So all of us have been in a situation, myself included, where, especially now, we just got over the busy Christmas holiday, right? So you're in the salon, it's a packed house, every chair is full. You're moving people around, can you move over here? I need your sink. And can you do this? And everybody's all hands on deck. Nobody's eating lunch. Everything's crazy. And you're at the, top of you finish the foil. You feel like it's been enough time. You're like, you keep checking it and willing it to be light enough. And you still have that little bit of, tiny bit of gold in there. And you're like, oh, it's fine. I'll just take it off. We're doing a glaze anyway, right? So, give me a little love and let me know if you've ever been there before. And, let's laugh about it, because we all have. You're lying if you haven't taken somebody down sooner than you should. But what happens is that piece will haunt you till the day you die. It will not ever be glazed away. It will never just automatically get lighter. You can't send them home with a bucket of purple shampoo the way everybody thinks is the answer. Oh, here's a complimentary bottle of purple shampoo to get rid of the orange piece that I left in your hair. So two things are going on here. The hair was not light enough, and the gold that is in there is leaning more towards orange gold than yellow gold, and you're handing them a purple shampoo. So we have to know and love. I'm looking for my little color wheel tattoos that I have all over the place until I want to show you one. No. You have to know and love that color wheel inside and out, and actually visit it in your mind. Visit it. It's actually on your phone. The photo icon of your iPhone is a color wheel. So if you're ever stuck, we all have our phones glued to our hand at all times. Most of you probably have your phone in your apron if you're doing color, or on the counter, or somewhere close by. Pick it up, look at that photo icon, and it's an actual color wheel. So pay attention to where you are in that lightening process. Like, the levels that we were taught in beauty school, we all kind of rolled our eyes and said, whatever, 7, 8, 9. What does that even mean? What is a 9? What's the difference between a 9 and a 10? Well, the difference is the difference in whether it's going to be cool, neutral, or warm. So we kid ourselves sometimes, and we're like, yeah, she's almost there. She's a 9, but she's really an 8. And you can see how much warmer these tones are than everything's opposite than these are. So I did a highlighting class recently, and I knew it was going to be difficult for me to talk about the technique, get good sound quality in my video and actually demonstrate and be alone in my studio and not have somebody filming me. So the day before, I foiled with a mannequin and I set up my camera on a tripod and I was showing how I start down in the nape area and I work my way up the head. So the reason that I do this is because I've been stuck a bunch of times where this part that's most important to the client, they all want that bright, nice, bright blonde money piece, is most times the last piece that we do. And this is where they want it the lightest and brightest. And then we're out of gas. By the time we get to that front part, we're like, oh, for the love of God, get this off. Her hair is going to be so dried out. I can't leave it on any longer. And we bail. So something that Ian did on my hair twice. I went to see him and had a class in his salon. And this blonde was my model. And I'm taking her over to the sink, ready to rinse her. She looked plenty light to me. And he said, no, I see a little more warmth than you're seeing. And a lot of times, most of us use a blue-based lightener. So the powder is blue and it goes on blue. And then we open up the foil and the blue is masking that warmth. So something that came up in our interview, in our conversation, that's so simple. Most salons, my own former salon included, have either a charcoal gray towel, a chocolate brown towel, a black towel. We tend to lean towards dark towels because we don't want these white towels with color stains all over them. Now, technology is amazing, and we have these bleach-proof towels that I have beautiful brand new charcoal gray towels that have been through the ringer, and I wipe my bleach hands on them constantly, and they look perfect. So if you don't have those towels, reach out to me, leave me a message here saying, I want those towels, and I'll send you the link. They're not, I think they're maybe a little bit more expensive than the cheaper white towels, but trust me, when a client comes in, they don't want that ratty old towel with color stains around their neck, even though they know they're in the fabric and they're not fresh stains and they're not going to touch them. It's gross. So if you want to be a six-figure colorist or stylist and you want to be on the top of your game, you cannot have color stains. I can't tell you how many classes I do where I go, can you hand me a towel? And they hand me a towel and it's all wrinkled up and it's frayed and there's holes in it and there's color all over it. And I'm just like, okay, this is why you're not making money. So I start underneath, so Ian, the biggest tip in our interview was, even if you don't have a bunch of white towels, have a white towel on your cart so that you can properly check that foil. Take the foil out, take a bottle of water, put the piece of hair on a white towel, squirt it with water, get the towel and really towel dry it and look at it. And if you can see urine yellow or gold or anything you don't want, take another foil, take the time to put it back in, mix up fresh lightener, put it back on and let them sit. Something that I was taught to do way back in the beginning of my career is pop everyone under heat with their foils. So I was taught that heat is better. Heat's always going to make it brighter, lighter, blonder, quicker. We're all about get people in, be busy. But the heat, I now understand from further education, and when you know better, you do better, the heat actually brings out more of the warmth because it's causing the product to act faster than it's meant to be. So it's disrupting more of that unwanted tone that comes out naturally in the hair. So try to schedule yourself so that you can let that client sit as much as possible with no heat. But we've all, even in those circumstances, we've all had those times where this part right here is like, oh, it just needs one more oomph, something more. So to open the foil, hit it with fresh product first. Try that first, because sometimes it gets a little weak by the time we've gotten up the head if we're still working with that same bowl, which that's a whole other conversation. I mix my product fresh. I start underneath, mix it fresh with a lower volume. When I hit the occipital, get rid of that bowl, get a new bowl, fresh product for this side, fresh product for this side, fresh product with a higher volume for that mohawk section. So I am guaranteeing myself I am not going to be watching that clock and hovering over that head saying, hurry up and get done faster. So varying your levels is, to me, important for speed, for, to get the right lift. And if you're in a pinch, which I was lucky enough to be a model for Ian at a class in Pennsylvania at True Beauty, and he had a lot of pressure on him. He had people who came from all over to watch this class. He had just retouched the gray on my regrowth. So we all know when you're lightening through fresh color, you have to try even harder to break through that fresh color. Excuse me, sorry. So my top was not ready, and the audience was getting restless, and they just kept playing the music louder. And I'll never forget this as long as I live. He said, do not rinse her. She's not ready. He knows me. He knows that I'd be like, dude, you left me with Brissy money piece, and this is my favorite piece. I want this to be nice and bright and light. So he was like, I don't care if every one of these people leave the class, do not rinse her. And I was like, wow, that is some super integrity, and that's why he's so successful. So the next time you find yourself cheating and saying to the assistant, just give her another minute or two and then take her down, and you don't actually check her, shame on you, because that client is going to walk around with that one Brissy piece. So the doll that I did for the class, I did her for technique and showing how to put the foils in, what direction to put the foils in, how many foils to put in. And I was never going to show her after. And this poor girl has been through anytime I just spontaneously jump on here, I'll do 5 different techniques on her that have nothing to do with each other, but just keep using her head, because I never cut her. I just use it to show the foil pattern. But I wanted to share her today because she was used in the class that I just did last weekend. And of course, I started underneath and I was talking about the technique. So it's not reading well on here because it never does, but you can see how nice and pale those blonde pieces got, because that's where I started underneath the hairline. And then I'm talking. I probably took a break. I probably had some lunch or a cup of coffee. Then I started filming again. And I didn't care for her to turn out done, because I wasn't showing that. It was just the placement. But I just want you to see, because of that, because everything was done with different timing, I didn't do anything. I didn't check her. I just pulled all the foils out and stuck her in the sink, and I probably rinsed her a day later. You know how we treat those mannequins at classes. But look how much warmer those pieces are that were done later. And then her money piece is nice and bright and light because it was done at a completely separate time on a completely different video. They're nice and pale. But if they had been done while the back was on, I would be checking her and going, oh crap, her hair's ready to snap off in her hairline. I got to take her down. But remember, the reason that I start underneath is you can take her to the sink, have someone help you hold those foils up, and you simply just rinse the hairline. Just rinse the hairline off. I always do a lower volume on my hairline because that hair gets beat up. Women go to the gym, they're constantly pulling their hair in a too tight ponytail. So we've all seen those women who they pull their ponytail and they have white noodles underneath, and then the rest of their hair is a totally different color. Don't do that. Don't let your client walk around with white noodles in her hairline. Either skip the hairline altogether if she doesn't want to commit to doing the whole thing right, or do it with a much lower volume, or foil the entire thing and then go back and do the hairline. Like, just be deliberate and intentional when you're highlighting, and think about your habits. Think about the time that you have to get it done. Think about what time she needs to get to her haircut. Think about the whole picture. I know for myself, as a client in the chair, I would rather you do less pieces on me and be really intentional about the pieces and give them enough time to cook and be really pale. And I don't care about the back, underneath, middle of my hair. I'm not wearing a 1980s French braid anytime soon. And all the up-to-date updos kind of do this and pull everything messy, where all you're going to see is that hairline and this top part, and this front part anyway. People aren't doing those corny updos that we did in the 80s and 90s to be in a wedding. They're wearing their hair down. They're wearing their hair longer with beach waves. So I hear people say, I feel bad not doing the whole head. I'm like, feel bad about what? You're leaving her much more healthy hair to support the hair that you keep continuing to lighten and compromise. So stop leaning on your bond builders to save your ass when you're over highlighting. Don't over highlight. This entire head, as bad as she looks, when I demonstrated for that class, her entire foil was done in 37 foils. And if I left it on long enough and you saw the actual pieces that I did during this class, it's more than enough for her to feel touched up and freshly done. I make sure that I go heavy on the pieces under here where they're going to fall forward and she's going to see that. That's, in my opinion, all of this is the money piece, all the way down behind the ear to down here, especially on long hair. So don't stop your money piece with your front little tails. Don't let her walk around like she's like party in the front, funeral in the back, like you left all of the back dark. But there's ways of using different types of stitching. Like, don't just keep baby lighting your way to retirement. There's other techniques that are going to be more appropriate for that situation. If she has thicker hair, if she has finer hair, if she has really curly hair, if she has really coarse hair. So have intention behind what you're doing. If you get to the top and it's just not budging, take the diffuser that you would use on a curly girl on a hairdryer and hold it, a few inches above the head and keep it moving. Just do a little bit of this with a hairdryer. Don't put her under a grandmom roller set hood dryer. Now you're baking everything that's already done to get the spot that's not done. And do you know how hard it is to get that heat up here under a hood dryer? The heat in a hood dryer comes from the back. So you're going to have a whole bunch of crispy critters in the back, and this still isn't going to be light enough. So try that tip with the white towel or a white paper towel or a white tissue. Check the color properly, especially for a double process. Sometimes you use a blue-based lightener for a double process and you're like, oh, she's done. And then she has a chicken yellow band and you're like, oh crap, now I have to apply the whole thing over again because your glaze is not going to cover up that yellow. So I hope today's chat was helpful. I gave a lot today in a short period of time because I am annoyed by my voice. So I can only imagine that you guys are annoyed by my voice. I'm going to scroll through here really quickly, see if there's any questions about it. I want those towels. Okay, I will. I get them from towelhub.com, but I can send you the exact link of the towels that I have because there's different sizes, there's different thickness. But they are well worth it. They last a really long time and they have no stains. Anne says, love those towels, clients notice. Yes. Deanna says, used to drive me crazy. White towels with color stains reminded me of dirty diapers. Amen. Suzanne said, I ordered them after you mentioned them and they're awesome. There you go. That's awesome. Somebody actually listens to me. Jennifer said, do you do a lower volume on the front hairline too? Yes, absolutely. Especially these little estrogen baby hairs. The hairline on women will grab darker when you're touching them up and it will get lighter way quicker. Any woman over 40, it turns into estrogen hair and it just is dying to break off. You've seen it. I know you have. I know you've broken some hair. Sonia says, what do you do for stopping oxidation? I actually, if I'm rinsing it, at the sink, I'm rinsing. And I may, if I'm going to be a while for the rest, I'll actually shampoo the underneath to just stop it. I don't just pull them. I've seen that on the Instagram videos, and I think that's just for showcasing like, oh, look at this lightness, but I don't recommend letting it sit like that. It will continue to process. Now, I did go to a Malibu class, and they said to keep a bottle of crystal gel next to your station, and anything that you want to stop, just squirt the crystal gel treatment on there. I haven't done that because I vary my developers, and I haven't had that issue. Jennifer said, I like the tip about doing the whole head first and then go back to do the hairline. I always do super thin weaves anyways, so they always lift super quick. Yeah, and it's important to do really fine weaves at the hairline, so continue to do that, but maybe do them last. Gary said, very helpful. Thank you, Gary. Gloria, is there playback for the foil class? Did you sign up, Gloria? If you signed up, everyone that signed up for the highlighting class, it was a paid class. It was not part of my coffee chat. It was my Cyber Monday special that I put out on Facebook. And if you are a member of the Insiders, you have access to the class, and you were sent an email with the link. And I also put the link for the replay in our private members only Facebook. If you paid for the class and you didn't make it, make sure that you actually registered. Like when you paid for it, there was another step that said register for the Zoom password. You should have gotten a follow-up email with the replay. If you did not and you paid for the class, please reach out to me, Elaine at expertcolorsolutions.com. And you own that. You get to play it as many times as you want. If anybody missed it and wants to purchase the replay, you can do that as well. Just reach out. Diane said, I just learned so much about placement. That's awesome. Jess, low and slow. Jess replaced me in the salon, so she knows what's up. Nikki, I could listen to you all day. Oh, even with this voice, you're so sweet. Jennifer, good to know. I will mix a new bowl for the hairline. Well, be careful. Don't mix the front hairline, mix a new bowl and make it fresh. But underneath, you don't want it to be super strong. Nina says, quick question, not relevant to this, but having trouble with toner pulling purple or blue. Okay, Nina, it sounds like, I don't know what toner you're using, but it sounds like you're taking the hair too far and you're taking it to white. Remember, you want to be, I don't have a banana on me, but you want it to be the inside, the actual banana that you eat, not the outside of a banana, but the color of a banana. It's so pale that it's almost white, but you can tell that it's yellow. Once you're to white, anything you put on the hair is going to grab the base of the glaze. So your purple, your blue, all that. So it's either that or you need to add some clear. The hair's super porous. There's so many things that it could be, but tell me what type of product you're using, because it might be a little bit too heavy for what you're using it for. Sandy, I think I missed the class. Is there a playback? Sandy, check the members group. It's in there. Wash with yellow color and shampoo in that area. Wash with yellow color. I don't know what that answer is, but oh, she's saying if you get the purple, use a yellow shampoo to get the purple out. I mean, if you shampoo it a few times, or you can grab some baking soda and cheap shampoo. I always have that hidden underneath the cabinet, like Suave and baking soda, and just smush it up and rub it through and it'll come right out. Redken Shades EQ. Okay, so it sounds like you may be using the new 10VV by itself with no clear. That packs a punch of violet. There's no background color. So the hair probably doesn't have the amount of yellow that you're thinking that it does, and it doesn't need all that violet. So it's probably overtoned. So lots of clear. Try backing off your formula. Say you used 10VV by itself and it went purple. Use, 3/4 of clear with 1/4 of the 10VV and do strand test. I am not ashamed to do a strand test when it comes to a new glazing situation. It doesn't mean you don't know what you're doing. It means you care. So do it on one piece, watch it for a few minutes. When it's pretty, put it on the whole head. And remember, Nina, I'm not saying that this is you, but a lot of stylists are globally glazing when they only need to zone tone. Zone toning is what a six-figure colorist does. A six-figure colorist does not take one size fits all of a Redken bottle of something or any other glaze and squirt it all over the head and walk away and smoke a cigarette or have a cup of coffee. You can't do that. You have to make sure, number one, that you're formulated correctly, that you took care of the condition of the hair. Sometimes you have to put, a pH filler in there to spray it on there to make sure that everything is going to take evenly. And on this poor soul, if we put, something to get rid of all this crappy blanche, if we formulate for the blanche, what do you think is going to happen to the pretty pale pieces? They're going to get overtoned and muddy and gross and go dark because they don't need what the orange needs. So take the time to do multiple formulas in multiple places. And if you don't have enough time, you need either more time or more help. You may be at the point where you need to hire an assistant, and you're giving an assistant a gift by having them help you. Let them watch you. Let them mix up your color to see that you use 3/4 clear and 1/4 of the color. Oh, wow, that makes sense. I'm shearing it out. It's not going to be too purple. So don't look at an assistant as, an extra expense or an annoyance. Look at them as somebody who can up your tickets because now you have 4 pairs of hands. It's something that I didn't do in my entire career because I'm a total control freak, but I would completely do it different. And I'm advising my daughter to do it differently because the seasoned colorists that have given you all those years of loyalty, they need help. They need extra help. And if you want to grow your business, you need somebody learning along the way. So, maybe if your salon doesn't offer assistance, tell the owner that you want to split an assistant. Most people pay assistants less than $10 an hour. I'm not going to give my opinion on that. I don't think it's enough. I always paid much more than that because it's important, but offer to split it, because if you normally have a $500 day and you have an extra pair of hands doing your blowouts, doing some glazes, doing some treatments in between to make sure that it doesn't overtone, that $5 an hour is going to earn you hundreds of dollars a day. So don't be short-sighted. Don't be penny wise, pound foolish. And I'm ending on that note because my voice is on my own nerves. But thank you for joining. I will see you all next week. And I hope that you guys have taken advantage of the free 4-part workshop with my life coach. I see some names on here that have attended. It's right here, right where Coffee Chat is. And the dates are on this page. If you come out of Coffee Chat and scroll down, there's a post that has all the dates. I believe the next one is January 27th. And we're going to be talking about your relationship with money. How you feel about and think about money is keeping you from making more of it. And it all comes back to your childhood. So it's going to be awesome sauce. So make sure you guys come. And if you missed session 1, it's here on this page. Just go over to the left. When you come out of here, go over to the left. It says videos. Click on it. You'll see 2 faces on the interview, and it says SOAR, and the whole screen is black, and it's Alejandra and I. So you can catch up and jump right in on it. Also, if you don't subscribe to my ManyChat, I want to put the link. I'm hoping it's still the link here. Hold on. Yeah, there we go. So I just put the link. If you want to be reminded anytime that I go live for anything, click on the link that I just put in the comments. It says https:/m.me/expert color solutions. That will put you into my auto bot on this page. So anything exciting that happens, if you're like, oh my gosh, I missed it, or oh, I can never find your talks, they're always here. Always on the Expert Color Solutions page. They're always free. This page is open. Share it with other stylists. And when you click on that, you'll get a reminder that says, reminder, going live in 5 minutes for Coffee Chat. So thanks for listening. Have a great rest of your week. And I will see you next week.